everyone. I'm Natasha. I am the Dopamine Stitcher here on YouTube. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. I am back for Flosstube number 12. Yeah, it's been about 3 weeks since I last filmed. For some reason I kept thinking it was 4 weeks, but then I looked at the calendar to add up my stitch count and was like, oh, it's only been 3 weeks. So that's good. I'm right on target. That's the schedule I'm trying to stick to. Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, if you're new here, this is a channel all about my cross-stitching journey. I do mostly full coverage cross-stitch, a few non-full coverage, and I am all about the big, colorful, you know, I have a few Aimee Stewart, obviously that's the name you might think of when you think of big, colorful cross-stitch projects. Yeah, I'm all about just like a lot of detail, really like kind of designs that fit the idea of maximalism and dopamine decor. That's what I'm into. So that's where I got the name from for my channel. So yeah, I have quite a bit of progress to share with you today. I had at least 2 days in the past 3 weeks where I did not stitch at all because I was out of town, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit at the end with the life update. But I still did really well. Despite those 2 days off from stitching the last 3 weeks, I still managed to get an average of 720 stitches a day, which is very exciting. And I did work on 5 projects. That's pretty much my standard. It seems that I rotate through 5 of them over a 3-week or so period. Yeah, I don't have a ton of projects. I only have 10 right now, which I know is very low in the Flosstube world. But I am thinking about starting more. And I'm going to talk about that a bit at the end. I'm going to talk a little bit about plans. I did get some more charts. My collection of charts is starting to pile up, and I really want to start some of them and not just have them sit in my, you know, digital folder or my markup RXP. I'd like to actually, you know, just get a few of them started. So I'm going to talk a little bit about plans for that. But right now I only have 10 and worked on 5 of those in the past 3 weeks. So, all right, the first one, this one I was super excited to get back to after a few months. Because I made a change. I had, so it's a long dog sampler, and so I picked my own colors for it, and I had to make a few changes to the colors because they just didn't look, I wasn't happy with it. I kind of had an idea in my head of how the color scheme would work, but then it got on the fabric, and I was like, yeah, that doesn't work. But I think I've arrived at what I'm going to stick with for the rest of the project. So, all right, so let me show you which one it is. So this is my only long dog sampler. And okay, so the one I'm doing, it is the House of Fun. So that's the pattern. Obviously it's not going to be in black and white, it's going to be in color. So that's it. Hopefully that is clear enough to see. I feel like I've been having a little bit of issues with blurriness in this particular area. I'm sitting by a window, there's all this natural light coming in, and then I have lamps over here, so yeah, I don't know, but I apologize if it's not super clear. So yeah, it's a long dog sampler. I am doing it on a 25 count Lugana in a silvery moon color, 1/1 full cross, and I'm using a mixture of some different threads from Weeks Dye Works, and I'm also using some Hrnjak. I'm using some rainbow, what is it? The Rainbow Gallery Petite Treasure Braid. I'm also going to be doing I'm going to be doing one DMC color to replace one of the colors, so that I think didn't work. Okay, so I'm going to put a picture up here of what it looked like before, and you'll see here it had this kind of bluish variegated border color. It's a thread called Caribbean from Weeks Dye Works. I was like, no, it's not working. It just did not work with the rest of the scheme. So I ripped that out. I did that a couple weeks ago. It was really, really annoying. I hate ripping out stitches. I don't think anyone enjoys it, but I just hate how much time it takes, and then it's taking time away from your actual stitching. But I did manage to do that. I think it took me like maybe 2 hours to rip out just that little part of the border that you should have seen there in the before photo. And so what I decided to replace it with is a bright gold. So it's from Rainbow. It's the Rainbow Gallery Petite Treasure Braid. It's one of their gold colors. And let me show you what it is now. So we got the gold there. I really like it. It might, it's maybe a bit on the tacky side, but that's kind of what I'm going for here. So I've got, so we got that one, that color, obviously. Then I have just more of a solid pink. It's Weeks Dye Works in Bubblegum. Then I've got a Hrnjak in Sweet Tart. That's all of the small animals are in the Sweet Tart Hrnjak. Then I've got a Hrnjak for the lettering, for the Welcome to the House of Fun. It's Hrnjak in Electric Apple. And then the colorful variegated is also Weeks Dye Works in Calypso. So yeah, this is how it is now. Now, the other change I'm gonna make, so you can see this down here, this is a house. So I was gonna do all of the houses and all of the boats in another solid color. I think this is just too light, like it's just not popping at all. This is actually, and I'm gonna show you the thread, because when I saw the thread, I didn't think it would not pop. It's a chartreuse Weeks Dye Works thread. It's just too light, and maybe just from the using one strand, it's not popping very much. And I went through some different ideas. I was like, well, should I incorporate another color? Should I try maybe like a bright blue or bright orange? And I held those up against here, and that didn't really work. I think we have to go with a lime green, like a solid lime green for that. And so I'm going to try doing DMC 907. That's going to replace this. But I'm not going to tear this out until I get to the page, because I'm putting that off, because that's not fun to have to rip out thread. So yeah, when I get back there, I'm going to rip that out. But there is a boat on this page I'm currently working on. So I'm going to use the 907, see how that looks. Hopefully that will work. And then I'll have my color scheme set. So yeah, so that's how it is now. I added 4,352 stitches in the past 3 weeks to this. I now have 9,577 stitches out of 73,594, and I'm at 13.01% of the total. So yeah. Let's see, I have some notes here, I don't want to miss anything. I thought of some things for each project that I wanted to bring up, so let me just make sure I don't miss anything here. Yeah, so the Hrnjak it's fairly easy to work with, but I find the Rainbow Gallery metallic thread is even easier, like especially when it comes to threading the needle. And I've never used a needle threader. I usually just thread it, on my own. It just moisten the end and then stick it through. But I actually have ordered a needle threader, because the Hrnjak is getting annoying to thread the needle with, because it's all those metallic particles that kind of fray out at the end, and it's hard to stick it through. And it's also hard to fold it over the thread and stick it through. I've been trying that, and that just hasn't been working for me either. So I did get the needle threader. Hopefully that'll speed things up. So yeah, working on this, I'm going page by page here. And this is a piece I'm working on over the weekends. It was a weekend piece for the month of July. So this is the final weekend. I'm going to work on it for a while. However, and I'm going to talk more about plans for next year later on, but I would really like to get this finished next year, because I really would like to see it hanging in my house. I think it would be a great, it's just going to be a fun one to get framed and display. And since it's non-full coverage, it's 73,000 or so stitches. Sorry, here I got a little pop-up on my phone. Okay, get rid of that. It'll be doable. So my goal is to finish this in about a year. And I'm just going to have to adjust my whole like rotation and, you know, pieces I work on each month to meet that. But yeah, I would like to get this done and see it completed. I'm not sure yet about a framing color. Find something that'll make the whole thing pop, but I don't know. Anyways, so that is that one. And yeah, I've never seen anyone do a long dog with this kind of a color combo with all the metallic, so I feel like it's something that's kind of unique. Yeah, it's interesting. It kind of, when I'm looking at it, I'm trying to figure out like what it reminds me of, like the color combo, like kind of reminds me of the fruit stripe gum, that old, you know, it's like an old type of a gum from the 90s, I think, and that's what that Calypso thread reminds me of. And then all together, I don't know, it almost reminds me of like a kid's clown party or something, and which is not really what I was going for. I don't know what I was going for. I just wanted to be extra and kind of blinged out about it. So it's got the sparkle, it's got the bling. That was the goal, and we're going with it. So, all right, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so this next one, this is my largest project that I have, and it is also my only max color project. I did show it last time, so last video I had brought it out for the first time after a while, and so it was fun to get back to it, but it's also been a lot of work, and it's been time consuming. So this is the one I'm talking about. This is the Grand Butterfly Ball, artwork by Aimee Stewart and charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. So that's what it'll look like when it's finished. Lots and lots of detail, lots of colors. Yeah, super fun. Again, I feel like that's not coming into focus, so I apologize, but that's it. And this is being done also on a 25 count Lugana, 1/1 full cross. And I will put up a picture of what I had before. And here, I folded up the big old sheet that this is on, so you could just see what I worked on. Yeah, and here it is now. So as you can see, this page, it is almost done. Just filling in some final stitches there. And I was gonna finish the page. I realized that I didn't have a lot of the colors that are in this. So this has like 240 colors. This is like coming unfolded here. And I had left a bunch of the colors up in Oregon. So I live in Southern California, for those of you who don't know. My parents are up in Oregon, so I do spend quite a bit of time up there, and I do have some cross-stitch stuff up there. So I realized I had left those up there during the last visit, didn't have them. And then I actually had my mom mail me the colors that I was missing. So I got that in the mail. I'm going to go back to this soon. It's just that I'm using the scroll frame right now to stitch on another project. I think it's the one I'm going to show next. So as soon as I'm done with reaching my one-page goal on the other one, then I'm going to go back to this one and fill in the rest of the colors. So what else do I want to say about this? As far as stats, I added 2,104 stitches since the last video. And so it now has 15,310 stitches out of 546,830, and is at 2.8%. So obviously a long way to go on this one. And right now I'm only doing like a page a year. I'm just pulling it out once a year to get a page in there so I can kind of keep it going. It's not one of my focus pieces right now, but I was kind of looking at how much is left and what it would take to get it done in my, I like to finish it in my lifetime. So what I plan to do with it is, for this year and next year, I think next year or either next year or the next 2 years, I'm going to continue just the 1 page a year. Then I'm going to have to go to 4 pages a year and get 4 done a year. If I do that consistently for 20 years. I will get it done before I'm 65. So it's quite a goal, but that's what I'm thinking right now. And that's what I wrote down, because I have like an ongoing like plan. I write out my plans for my stitching projects and when I'd like to have them finished. Not all of them, but there's a few of them I have like kind of hard dates on when I'd like to finish them. So yeah, this is I'll have to do like 4 pages a year for a good 20 years, and then it will get fully done. And that's going to take time. Like that's almost going to take like 4 months out of the year, because this one with all the confetti, it takes twice as long for me to finish a page on here compared to a page of a non-max color project. That's what I'm finding. It's like about twice as long, just with so many color changes. But I mean, the result is gorgeous. So, I mean, I think it's worth it. But again, I'd rather not have all my projects be max color, because then I'm just not going to get them all done. So this is just going to be the one max color that I'm going to do. It's just all confetti. It's basically just the whole thing is confetti on this one too, because there's so many little details on this chart. So yeah, that's the plan for this one. Yeah, it's going to be around for a long time. We'll see. Can't even imagine what I'd be doing in 20 years, but yeah. All right, so next one. This is my main focus piece. This is a channel favorite, I guess you could say. And so this is the one where I was talking about, it's like currently on the scroll frame, and I'm almost done with the current page that I'm doing on it, and then I'll move on. So this is, of course, Magic Roses. Artwork is by Jenoviya Art. It is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is what it'll look like when it's finished. And I'm doing this one on 25 count, pre-gridded fabric, 2/110 stitch. And this is the only project I have doing method. I really prefer 1/1 full cross, but I started it this way, so we're just going to go with it. I'll put a picture up of what it looked like before, and all right, let's see, here it is now. Oh, it's looking so good. It's just gonna, like, there's so much. And when I have it on the scroll frame, it's like, I'm just amazed by like how many stitches are already on it. And I just look at all of them. It is just wild. Okay, in the last 3 weeks, I added a whopping 7,089 stitches. It currently has 144,519 stitches out of 320,000 stitches, and it is at 45.16%. So we're inching towards that 50% mark, which I'm sure I will reach this year. Very exciting. I worked on this page. This page here, it probably looks done from what you can see, but it's not. It has like maybe less than 300 stitches left on this page. So I plan to finish this it'll probably just take a day. Then I'm going to go back to Grand Butterfly Ball and go ahead and wrap up that final page on there with all those missing colors that I finally got back in the mail. So yeah, I wanted to talk about a couple things here. You can probably tell that there are page lines. So here, here, there, they're pretty deep actually, because I work page by page. And I wanted to say that, you know, it doesn't bother me because number one, I can only see them with like a lot of natural light. If it's in a room and I just have an artificial light on it, I actually cannot see the lines. So as long as I display this in a room where I'm not getting like a window like right next to it, getting a lot of natural light, I really can't see them. It's like only in, you know, certain lighting I can see them. Also, you know, hopefully once it's washed and framed and stretched, it'll be okay. And I've kind of tried, like, I tried doing the feathering a little bit in some of these pages, but I don't think it was enough. Like, I was just doing a few stitches on the outside of the page, hoping that that would fix the problem, but it didn't seem to do that. I think in order to fix the problem, I would have to do it a completely different method. I'd have to do, like, view the full chart and just, you know, go all out here, like not go by page at all, just go like by color all the way across, or something else, like another method altogether, which I really don't want to do. I really like doing page by page. So I've decided it's not worth killing that method to get rid of the lines, because again, I can only see them in certain lighting, and I think it'll be okay. Also, this is the 2/1 half cross or 10 stitch. I see them, they're much more pronounced than they are on my other projects that are 1/1 full cross on 25 count. I notice those a lot less. Like I don't see the lines there. This, for some reason, probably because it's the thicker, each stitch is thicker with the 2 strands, for some reason seems to create the lines more. Another reason that I thought of, this is another reason why I like going page by page. So there have been some horror stories in the Flosstube community of like losing all their work. Like if your device crashes and then everything you've done on a project is like gone, and then you'll have to like re-download it, reload the chart, and then there's no marked stitches, and you would have to like mark off the ones you did without knowing. Now, if that happened to me, which it might, I mean, at some point, this iPad that I use for markup is not that new, you know, and I have had a lot of devices die on me. So if that were to happen, it'll be pretty easy to put all the stitches back since I'm going page by page. I mean, if I'm in the middle of a page, then yeah, I'll have to figure out what I've done. But let's say I lost this, I could just go through the first, I don't know how many pages I've done on here, like 22 pages, and just go mark off everything, and I'll be caught up. And that gives me peace of mind, knowing that if my device crashes and I lose everything, I could easily find out where I was and like remark off everything. So that's just something else that's always kind of in my mind. Now I do back up project. I know that some people will just back them up like all the time out of like, you know, just to be on the safe side. And I think it's a Stitch is So Beautiful Facebook group where the someone like posts every month, or maybe it was, I don't know, Sunflower Stitches, one of the cross stitch groups on Facebook for one of the charting companies. Every month they're like, here's your monthly reminder to back up all your projects, which I think is very good. I usually just back them up when I put a project down in the middle of a page where I only have some stitches marked, and I know I'm not going to pick the project up again for a little while, for like a few months. Then I've been exporting that. But like this, the ones that I'm doing regularly, I'm not really, I'm not exporting, because that's just like, I don't know. Then it's just something else to have to remember to do. So anyway, so this one, I have a finish goal of, I think it's going to be August 2027 is what I've set. So we still have a little ways to go, but yeah, this is a one that's coming together. It's very exciting. I think it's the biggest, definitely when it's done, it'll be my biggest project I've ever completed. So very excited about that. Let's see. Oh yeah, there was one other thing I was going to say about like the method that I do. I've kind of been trying something new. So I go page by page, and I start with the color that has the highest number of stitches on the page, and then I work my way down. So then you have, you know, let's say it's like 310, or I don't know, for that one, it's probably one of the, you know, the greens, like 3747 or one of those. So anyway, I'll have like over 1,000 stitches on the page, gives me a good base. Then I can work off of that to start doing the other colors. What I've been doing, once I get to, once I've done all the colors except for those that have under 50, like fewer than 50 stitches on the page in that color, I will reorganize it on in the markup RXP by numerical order. And then I'll just finish out the page going through the colors in numerical order, because I have them like set in my stash that way, numerical order. So then you can just go down the line instead of having to like reach all over the place for different colors. And that's been a new thing I've been doing on all of my projects. That's been working pretty well. So Okay, let's move on. So only 2 left. All right, let's see. I hope no one's getting sick of these projects. I'm not getting sick of them. I just feel like I really want to start more because I just, oh, this is taking a while to open up. Speaking of devices crashing, maybe it's, I don't know, I hope it's not happening right now. Okay, that is not loading up. Let's see here. Let me try closing this. Okay, come on. Try reopening the app. Okay, hopefully this will open now. Okay. All right, well, I may have to stick a photo in of this because it's not opening up. I'm not sure why. Probably because I talked about devices crashing and now I'm having a problem. So the next one, so I will put up a photo of this since it's not opening on the iPad. So this is Abstract Eagle. It is artwork by Dean Russo and it is charted by Artecy. And it's a mini version. I am stitching it 2/1 full cross on 18 count. It's an 18 count dyed Aida from EasyStitchforFun on Etsy is where I got it from. So here's what it looks like now. So I'm working page by page, just going across like this, and then I think there's one more here, and then I'm gonna go over here. And yeah, so this is my weekly 500 piece. So I'm adding 500 stitches a week to it. It should be done by April 1st, 2026. So as long as I keep up the 500 a week, I will make it there. And I added 2006 stitches. So obviously not exactly 500 every week, kind of give or take. Otherwise it would be an even number. I now have 18,342 out of 38,000. It is now at 48.27%. And just a note on that, that's actually not accurate because I'm not stitching the background. I'm using the fabric as the background and I blocked out all of the 310 that was around the eagle's face. So that is, I haven't actually stitched that much, but according to the chart with everything, with all that 310 blocked off, that's where I'm at. So there we go. It's going to be so cute when it's done. I can't wait to see his beak come in and see his whole face. And I can picture this with like either a bright pink, bright yellow, or bright blue frame. So it'll be fun to get this framed. So yeah, there is that. Okay, and in case you're wondering, it did not crash. It did finally open. It was just very slow. So, but I'll still, yeah, I'll just use the picture instead of showing this to you. Okay, final one. Hope this doesn't take as long to open. So this one, this is also a non-full coverage, and I'm just kind of picking it up during the week when I have time, if work is slow, and just adding a few stitches in because it's not very big. It only has, it has over 12,000 stitches, and this is also taking a very long time to load. So I will, I'll show you what it's gonna look like when it's finished once it loads. I'll just go ahead and start showing the actual fabric now and the current state of it. So yeah, anyway, this is, I didn't say this is called Mexican Circle. It's by Counting the Stars on Etsy. And so this is what it looks like now. I'll put a picture of what it looked like before. I added 1,030 stitches. I currently have 3,692 stitches out of 12,732 stitches. It is at 29%. And I only started this in May. So this is really coming together quickly to be at that percentage already, and for something I'm not really spending much time on. So yeah, I'm hoping to get this done by December, and then I can have a new start, because then I'll have have finished something. So this is on, oh, I didn't say, so this is also 1/1 full cross. It is on a 25 count opalescent Lugana. So it's got sparkle in it, which I don't know if you can really see from here, but I love this fabric so much. I love the sparkle. I'm going to start doing other projects on it, even like full coverage, just because it's so fun to work with. And then, you know, you could leave a little border when it gets framed of the sparkly fabric. So that's where we are. And oh, it finally loaded up. So here is, that's what it'll look like when it's finished. Obviously this is on a black, so it's not going to look exactly like that, but yeah, very colorful, very pretty. All right, so that is all the stitching I have to show you. So mentioned a little bit throughout that I would like to start more, because I've been collecting so many charts and I really want to get some going. So my plan, I'm planning to finish 3 within the next year. So this one I just showed you, the Mexican Circle, is supposed to be done by December. The Abstract Eagle should be done by April. And then, like I mentioned earlier, the House of Fun, I'd like to get that done by July of next year. So that'll give me 3 new starts. But since I have 10 projects, I think I'm going to allow myself to go up to 14 or 15 at a time. So that gives me, so in addition to the 3, then I can, you know, I can start more. I could start like another, what would that be? So I know it's 7 starts total. So 3 to replace these, and then a bunch more to go up to 14 or 15 total. So, and what I'm going to do, because right now I have a rotation that I follow that's kind of based on like the month or the day of the week, where I have certain projects I work on at certain times, certain days or months. So what I'm going to do instead next year is I'm going to have like monthly goals. And once I've met the monthly goal, then I'll put the rest of my projects like on a wheel, and then spin a wheel, and then work on whatever I spun, like 1,000 stitches, and then spin it again, and then just do that until the end of the month. So that way I can get more work done on more projects without missing my monthly goals on what I'm doing for these projects like Magic Roses, and then like the Butterfly Ball, and you know, to stay on track. So yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. And with that, I did get some more charts. So let's see if this will even load up. So, and now I have quite a collection of, I have like, let's see, 4, 5, 6. I have like 15 in my like new start wish list. And there's also another 4 that I bought that I haven't loaded in here yet. Again, this is taking a very long time to load up. So I'm going to talk about that one last, that's taking a while, and I'll talk about these other 4. So Thread Geeks was having a buy 2 get 2 free sale this month. It ends on July 28th, which is Monday. So if you haven't heard about it, it's a great deal. I mean, 4 for 2. The charts are like 10 British pounds each. So I don't know. I think that's like $13 maybe. I'm not sure the exchange rate, but yeah, they have some great stuff on there. Overall, their site isn't really my style. It's very gothic-y. There's a lot of kind of, you know, creepy stuff on there. Not a lot of real bright, cheerful things. But there are a few that I really, really liked that I've been looking at for a while. So the first one, I'm going to put up a picture here because I have not loaded it into markup yet. It is called Eagle Woman, and it is the artist is Andrea Hrnjak. It's Hrnjak. Not sure how to say that. I love this. So I love bald eagles. If you've been watching my channel, you know that very well. And so this is another one that'll be kind of like it won't be as time consuming as a big full coverage, because what I can do is do it without the background. So I can just stitch the object, the woman with the eagle, on on a fabric, and then I looked at the chart, and all the white background is stitched, but I'm not going to stitch that. I'm just going to do it on a pretty fabric. So it's, you know, grayscale, so it doesn't have that many colors either. It's just like grays and blacks and whites, and you know, it's like a grayscale design. So that'll also make things easier, not having as many colors. And yeah, I've been kind of brainstorming and even comparing and like looking at the pattern against some different colors to kind of figure out what color I want. And I think I need to go with like a warm color, because some of the colors in it there's some blues, even though it doesn't look blue, there's like a blue grays in it. And so I don't want to do it on anything that's like blue or green or or a gray that's gonna like compete with the stitching. So I'm thinking like either a really bright pink, maybe bright orange, something like that that's really contrasting. And I'm probably going to do it on 18 count because it's like 20 inches by 20 inches on 18 count. So yeah, that's definitely going to be one of my new starts for the next year. So that is definitely on the list. Next one, again, I'll put a picture up of this one because it's not loaded in. It is called Finding Dreamland, and the artist is Cat Fedora. I have loved Cat Fedora's stuff on the site so much. It was hard to decide like which one I liked the best, but I think out of all of them, I really like this one the best. I just love the bookshelf, the detail on that, and then the girl is like carrying a basket of eggs, which looks like a bird laid the eggs, and that's kind of my love of the bald eagles and the eagle nests that I like to watch. So that kind of fits in with that. We've got the bear there. Also kind of a fan of bears, I guess, because just living in the mountains, bears are a thing here. Like you don't want to encounter one, but they're like on everything all around town. Like everything is bears on all the artwork or whatever. So yeah, so I really like this. I love the colors. It's not that big either. So anyway, that was the second one I got. The third one here, this one is, I guess you could say this is kind of gothic-y, kind of alternative, kind of not bright and cheerful at all. This is called Despair, and the artist is Rebecca Sinz. This is another one where I can do it without the background on a fun fabric. And I'm thinking like a red might look good, either red or bright teal. Kind of debating between those two. And I can also do it on 18 count. And it's again grayscale, mostly black, so it's going to be fewer colors. Yeah, this one is, you can tell it's not really part of my style that I really like, but you know, most of the time. But I don't know, I love it because I just love how dramatic it is. It's just like, oh, like I'm just in such despair, and you know, we all get in our moods, and I get in a dark mood too, just like everyone else once in a while. So it's kind of, you know, it's funny. Like I have most of my patterns are like very bright and cheerful, but then I have a few that are very like dark. And I have them because it's like, well, sometimes you're just not going to be in the mood to stitch like bright and colorful. Maybe you want something a little more dark and dramatic and sad to kind of go along with your feelings. So anyway, that's kind of what inspired that. So I got that one in the collection. Finally, and this was a new release that just came, that was posted, I think within the last week. This is called Rain in the Forest, and it is by Efellana Illustrations. So pretty. I love the vibe. It's just so like, it's like fall, autumn, like just like being in a dewy forest. And I love the detail on this. Also, it has a border. It's like a gold border, and I think I could probably get the stitch count down by just starting it within that like frame. There's like a gold frame around it, and if I just skip that part and I start like below the frame, or just like with the top part of the frame, not the part that's above that, if that makes sense. Hopefully you're seeing the picture and you can match up here. That would get the stitch count down, and I don't think it would really take anything away from the image. So yeah, there's that one. Finally, now that this is loaded up, this is one that I've been looking at for a long time, and it's on Sunflower Stitches. So that's I don't know if it's a new company, but I only recently heard about it. And they don't have a giant collection of charts on there yet, but they have some really cute ones. This is one I just had to get because I just been looking at it and I'm like, oh my God, I love this. This one, it is called Somewhere Over the Rainbow, and the artist is Maria Abagnale. Yeah, just look at that. It's just so pretty. I mean, I love the sunglasses, the ring that she's wearing, just the rainbow on there, and it's just so pretty. Oh my God. So this is also definitely going to be part of the New Start plan within the next year, because I just have to start this. It is just absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, I got that as well. There wasn't a sale. It was just, yeah, I just got it off the site. So yeah, so those are my new charts. A little bit of a life update. I'm just got a little sip here. Gosh, I don't know why my markup RxP is suddenly so slow. It concerns me a little bit because now I think like, yeah, I don't know what's going on with it. Maybe I think I need to go in and delete some charts that I'm like not going to do or I'm not going to work on for a long time. Because the other thing I do with my charts, whenever I buy them, I'll store them on my computer. It's actually my work computer. It's because I don't have it. That's my only computer I have right now. But then I also will email the file to myself. So there's like a copy of it in cyberspace. So I know I can like get it back. And then it's also on this iPad. So yeah, I guess I could uninstall, I could take some of these off and then I could just load them back in when I'm ready to start them, I suppose. So maybe I'll try that. But yeah, oh, I really don't want technology to fail me. Okay, so I was out of town, not last weekend, but the weekend before that. I went to Palm Springs for my cousin's 50th birthday, and it was really great to get away. It was a very long trip, though. I drove, and it's about a 3-hour drive. So it's 2 hours from Los Angeles, but where I am, I'm in the mountains in a rural area. It's 3 hours, so it was definitely a long drive. But yeah, it was really fun. We stayed in a beautiful home, great yard and pool. I'm going to put up a picture of the backyard so you can see. It's kind of just a typical Palm Springs. For those of you who don't know, Palm Springs is a desert town. It's a major destination for like bachelorette parties and girls' weekends or boys' weekends, whatever. It's really, really vibrant. And yeah, great shopping. Really great like home decor stores. It's kind of like all the architecture and the houses, it's preserved that mid-century modern look. Yeah, I love it so much. The only thing is it gets very, very hot. So it was hot there. It was about 103 Fahrenheit. I'm not sure what that is in Celsius, but I don't know, probably 30. I'm not sure. I'll have to look it up after, but very, very hot, which it definitely impacts you, especially if you're like drinking. It's like you have to be really careful. You have to stay hydrated, try and not sit outside for too long. So yeah, that made it kind of more tired, like exhausting on the body to be in that, all that driving and then in the heat. But yeah, we had a lot of fun. We just went out to restaurants, bars, we went to a drag brunch. It's a major like LGBT community there. And so they have all these, like a lot of the gay bars and the shows, like the drag queen shows. So that's like a must do when you're there is we go to brunch and they'll have like a show going on and drink mimosas. And so, yeah, it was really fun. We also had a private chef come to the house one night and cook us a meal. And it was really amazing. I'd never done that before. Yeah, it was really fun. And yeah, nice to have someone come and cook for you and then clean up and you didn't have to do anything. So yeah, so I did that. So I had 2 days where I didn't stitch because of that trip. And yeah, I am going to be here staying home for another couple of weeks. Then I'm going to be going back up to Oregon for a couple of weeks. Quick update on my move and house. If you've been watching, you probably heard about the whole situation with this house that I'm supposed to be moving into. Well, my boyfriend and I, we live together. We were going to move into this house in Los Angeles. It's my dad's house that he's owned since the 70s. But the tenant who's in there is refusing to leave. So we're having to go through an eviction. So Last video I mentioned we had finally gotten an attorney and started the process. We're still in the process now, and it's going fine. It's going smoothly. It's just going slow because the laws are, I know it's harder in California too. It's like even harder to evict someone in certain states like California and Oregon, but it's probably long everywhere. I don't know. But yeah, it's going to take, so our estimate that we've gotten from the attorney is probably like at the end of September or beginning of October is hopefully when we'll be done with this whole process. And that will mean getting to the final step of like when you actually have a court order of possession, you finally have like permission to gain possession of your house again. The tenant, they get 5 days to leave. And if they're not gone by the end of the 5 days, then the police will come and actually they'll physically like take them out. And you have to come with a locksmith and they'll like, you know, change the locks, they'll break down whatever they have to do to get in, and then actually like physically remove the person and change the locks. And then if they were to come back, then they'll be arrested because they're trespassing. So I am hoping it doesn't come to that. I'm hoping that they will not be that stupid to get to that point and just humiliate themselves in front of the whole neighborhood, but we don't know. I don't know. It might come to that. I'll definitely keep you updated because that'll be quite a story if that's what it comes to. But yeah, if we just go through the eviction process and then get to the end of it, that is the final step, and that step will entail, law enforcement coming to the house. And it should be I'm just really hoping that we can move before winter hits, because in this mountain area, it's going to start snowing. And I just do not want to deal with that here because it's so remote. It would just be really hard to like, you know, deal with that in an area like this with, you know, making sure you're stocked up on supplies and all that. And like if the power goes out, that'll be a nightmare. So I just decided I want to be out of here before it starts snowing. That's really what I want. So anyways, okay, well, I think that's enough rambling for today. I am going to go put all this away. I'm going to look at my markup app and see if there's something I can do to speed it up, because it's obviously become very slow right now, and that's not good. And I'm going to get back to work on my long dog sampler, working on it the rest of the weekend. So let's see how far I can get. So thank you all so much for watching. I'm going to try to be back in 3 weeks if I can from Oregon. If not, it'll probably be 5 weeks until I do another video. So that's just a heads up about that. It might be a little bit if I don't get to it while I'm up there. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't yet, please consider subscribing. Please like this video and please leave me a comment. We really appreciate that. I love reading all the comments. And I hope everyone is having a wonderful summer. And yeah, happy stitching. I'll see you next time. Bye.